Hello and welcome, Lynx here, and we are playing Chronotopia's second skin, of course. What a way to get woken up, huh? Dude, now that I think about it, I mean, I kind of had that wake up a little bit sometimes. I guess at some point I would get used to it and not wake up to it, but yeah, given that my neighbor in my teenage years used to have chickens and so on. And rooster, and so on. Anyway, let's see how it goes for Kionna, the farm life from now on. Dude, it will be probably hilarious. Come on, rise and shine! I do not remember her voice now. So soon? It cannot be, I barely go to bed. Whoo, you must be kidding! The day starts early and we have to do a lot to do! I'm going to stay in bed a little longer. Have a nice day, Flo. The young farmer sighed and shook her even more. Get out of this bedding, you slacker! We're not lodging you to look after the pillows! There I mind you! Through sheer rowdiness, the delicate princess finally deigned to open her eyes. As she was used to long restorative sleeps, she was naturally disappointed by the peasant's pace of life. Yet she could not deny that she had gotten into this situation herself. Yeah, get used to it. Willy-nilly, she stretched out. Alright, I'm coming. After you slept in those clothes. What? That couldn't have been comfortable. Then again, probably sleeping there would not be comfortable given that you basically sleep on the ground! And it's not like the Japanese way, which is actually comfortable. Anywho. After a lighting workshop sternly supervised by the young farmer, Kionna combed her hair, slipped her skin on and followed her host. Honestly, I feel like I might be sort of, weird thing to say, sort of in a need to like sleep on the floor for like a day or two. I might do that tonight. Alright, listen very carefully. My parents went to see the fields and they trusted me with the difficult task of taking care of you, gauche as you are. I'm not even sure I'm able to give you the slightest task. Yeah. I can believe that, actually. I'll behave with exemplary obedience, you can trust me. But will you be able to follow my instructions? And do you have an experience at all? Doubt. I'll bet my life on the fact that I'll have to explain everything to ya. Yes, you will have to. I'm willing to learn. A lie everybody tells when applying for jobs. By the way, did I have any extras that I was supposed to read? Or no, we read this one at the end, right? Let's face it, we say it, but even if it's true in the beginning, eventually you're like, fuck, I don't want to learn anything new. Maybe it's me, Flo. Standing in front of such a self-assurance, Flo loudly sighed while scratching her head. Listen, let's just start with the basics. It will allow me to see what you can really do. Let's feed the animals for stardust. The animals? Well, yes, the animals. You don't possibly believe that the farm could go without them, do ya? Do you need them? I mean, first of all, you already heard that she has sheep. So, like, you know. You know what? Let's go stupid. Like lions and bears? Let's go stupid. The young farmer stared at Kionna, gaping. Her jaw was so wide open that it looked like it could come off at any moment. Pardon? The princess goggled at her, not understanding her reaction. You're evoking animals, therefore I was simply trying to figure out what kind you owned. Wow, by the way. Still. Come on. First of all, she told you about sheep. So you already know that. Come on. Figure that you've heard the freaking rooster waking everyone. Probably you haven't heard it for. But yeah. Chickens. Cows. Maybe horses. Anywho. I've heard people say that ferocious beasts were occasionally tamed by men, and I thought that you might be experienced animal trainers. They're farmers! I know, again, my choice, and I'm like, what are you talking about, woman? Yeah, I think it might take a moment for her to, like, get back to her senses now. Flo remained at a loss for words, which is understandable, as if she was stuck in the same surprised expression, and Kionna started to worry. Could be I have broken her mind? Well, that would be more than unfortunate. After a few seconds, which seemed an eternity, the maiden roared with laughter. That's so funny! God by his sides! Have I said something weird? It took Flo long minutes to regain her composure under the prince's abashed look. The latter was feeling vaguely offended. I know where you learned all that, but you won't find either bear or lion in our humble farm. In a fairy tale maybe, or in the forest if you want to meet a wild bear, but I wouldn't recommend it. Kionna shrugged with bitterness, her pride wounded. She could not help sulking because she thought she had asked a perfect, valid question. You can me to thank that for... kind of. The farmer cleared her throat. Well, we've wasted enough time as it is. Let's get to work. I forgot to adjust the music once again when I'm playing. It's roaring loud. Not questioning anything, the princess grabbed the wooden buckets that the young girl was holding onto her and followed her to the well, located a few steps away from the farm, on one of the hills. With an expert hand, Flo hung one of the buckets and slowly let it down to the bottom of the well with a rope. Kionna observed the scene very impressed. First step, getting water to the cattle. You and I are going to fill up all the buckets we brought and carry them back to the farm. The princess thought the task was relatively easy, but she had neglected one little detail that reality did not fail to remind her of. Indeed, when Flo pulled her two buckets up one after the other, she saw her tug with all her strength. Breathless but victorious, the farmer tied one of Kionna's buckets and gave her the rope. Alright, your turn. The young Moor managed to fill the bucket without a hitch, but she promptly learned her mistake the hard way when she had to pull it up. Good? God, this is so heavy. You're going to develop some muscles after that, believe me. Fleur was boasting, all too happy to prove to the... I mean, she's right. All too happy to prove to the impudent foreigner that her daily activity was worthy of respect. But she did not particularly take pleasure in testing her comrade and quickly cheered her on as best as she could. Come on, Kionna, you're almost there. No, don't let go. Easier said than done. Focus on your goal. I'm trying. Despite all the efforts, Princess was not used to thankless tasks and, incapable of hacking up the bucket out of the well, she was not making any headway. Understanding that she was only exhausting her, Flo took hold of the rope and pulled alongside her. Shortly after, the bucket was finally on the ground, perfectly filled. Alright, you can drop it. I'm going to take care of the last one. Kionna felt both grateful and disappointed. The brief respite sounded like a blessing given the state of her hands, reddened by all the traction. Yet her heart grew slightly heavier. A 14-year-old child seemed way more capable of handling heavy loads than her, and she had failed to show that she could be helpful. Also, let's not forget Kionna is 17, also a child. But still, Flo noticed her trouble and amiably patted her on the back.
Don't look so glum, eh? You'll do better next time. We need to feed the animals every day so we'll have ample opportunity to practice.
Kionna looked down and replied in a quiet voice.
Thank you. Let's go now. Before anything else, do not spill the buckets on your way or you'll have to start over.
She'll have to start over, won't she?
If you have trouble, take a short break, but do not waste the water. Very well, Flo. Very well.
Will she be able to lift that? The farmer held her to buckets by force of arms alone, and the princess mimicked her as best as she could, but she got instantly admonished.
Not like that! You are going to hurt your back! Come on, you should never carry heavy loads without bending your knees!
That's right. Willingly, Kionna hurried to obey and follow her. Let's go. Apple trees, and so on. Nice. Crossing the hill appeared never-ending to her. Even though it was a short trip, she was thoroughly exhausted when she put down her 2 buckets in the pen, which was located nearby, a tiny building made of stone, wood, and straw. Man, farming back in the day must have been... I mean, it not must have been. We know, without a doubt, to be honest. We don't even need to experience that. It was tough. Really tough.
Here we are. You'll have to pay close attention so the animals don't escape, okay?
Oh my god, you just triggered a flag.
If we leave the door open, you can be sure they are going to wander around. Especially the geese, those are pretty sly. Alright. Let's begin with the heavy drinkers. Come in without your buckets. We're going to lower them in the pen so that we can clean the stables.
Dude, I'm kinda glad I never had to do that. I've been to stables for. I mean... 2? I think 2. Maybe more. No, 2, yeah. 2 of my classmates in middle school. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Were in like... horse club? No, you can't call it that, because we don't have clubs in schools. But basically they were...
I don't know what you would call that.
Not really a farm as well. Basically, well, they just had horses, okay? So, they were riding in that place, taking care of the horses and so on. I don't think they ever do that anymore, but... I mean, might have been fun, but also a pain probably. I know it was not for me. To be honest, I didn't even need to go there to know that. But yeah, I would drop by to just hang around from time to time. Why not? Anywho, the princess shyly entered the building with Flo following on her heels. Some weak sun rays were passing through a few wooden planks, but what struck the most, besides the narrowness of the place, was the strong smell coming from the animals. Yeah. Kionna badly wanted to pinch her nose and had a hell of a job hiding her repugnance. The farmer took notice and jovially said,
You must really not see animals very often to make such a face.
With the help of a stick, the young girl urged the donkey. Yeah. And a few sheep that were resting in the dimness to move and led them towards the pen where some geese and a goat were already prancing around. Finally, she closed its gate and waited to stay inside the enclosure.
Given your first area, deal with retrieving the manure. Just keep an eye on them and give them some water.
Holy crap, it's loud there.
It should keep them busy while I finish this.
The princess nodded. She was not at least surrounded by those geese who were honking left and right. Geese can be some assholes, by the way, watch out. By contrast, she felt a great deal of affection towards the old donkey which was peacefully drinking. Meanwhile, the donkey was like, please don't come near me. Perhaps it was because of the guilt that was tormenting her ever since she had fled the castle. The kingdom's magic donkey had been put to death through her own fault, after all. Yeah? As she was petting the animal, she raised her voice in Flora's direction. What is the purpose of this little donkey which seems so sweet?
Cadishon! He's the one carrying the heaviest loads. We cannot afford the worker, so he makes a fine standing. Donkeys are...
Oh, so they don't have horses.
Okay. Donkeys are content with very little, and we wouldn't be able to feed a big eater anyway.
Donkeys are great. Is it not too hard for him?
The donkey's used to it, don't worry, eh?
As she looked up, the young moor noticed that there was an empty space between the barn's door and its straw roof. She pointed it out with an interrogative face.
So why is there a gap up here? That? It's the granary, of course. It's where we store hay to feed the animals all year. Except when the weather is nice, since we can directly make them graze.
So there's a hay loft. But why is it empty?
Well, we're precisely in high-making season as we speak. We've exhausted all the reserve we had left and we'll soon be able to fill the granary again.
Oh, I see. Haymaking season, huh? Kionna had naturally learned this word during her lessons with her private tutor, but she had never had the chance to see it done in practice. Well, in that little detail, I would say her getting out of the castle is a good thing. She will see at least. I mean, I feel like this should be done for most rulers. Even now, politicians and so on. They should be shown the real world. Because, well, let's face it, they don't know it. And even past, even more so, I would say. No, actually no. Even right now, it's the same. They have no idea. They don't think about filling their own pockets. Sadly enough. Anyhow. Assuredly, Farm Life had a lot in store for her. Yeah. Flu, who was getting dangerously closer, hands on her hips, dispelled her torpor with her voice.
Don't tell me you're sleeping already! Of course, Dad. Good, the stable's clean, we cannot drive the animals to pasture. Huguette will likely take care of sweeping the pen in our absence. If I'm really going to need your help this time.
What do I need to do?
It's simple. You're going to take the big stick, like me, and we'll both see to a group of animals.
What?
Still alert and don't hesitate to get them back in line if they are straying from the path.
A bit nervous, the princess mimicked her comrade and they left the farm behind with their flock. While they were passing the shack, Kionna realized that Anselm and Huguette's property was surrounded by a hedge of twigs and thorns. She pointed out with her chin.
Is it to prevent animals from fleeing? That's one of its uses, but there are many others.
Really? Such as? Not letting animals into the place?
Well, the barrier also prevents the animals from trampling on our crops, and it makes it harder to steal them.
The princess opened her eyes wide with horror.
Steal them? Perfidious persons dare to steal her cattle? Unfortunately, yes, it can happen.
That remark made Kionna pensive, but she soon had to get rid of those thoughts to focus on the task at hand. The two maidens rapidly reached the pasture. While the animals were grazing, Flo approached her.
There you go! Now we just need to wait and keep an eye on the cattle. It's not the most enthralling thing in the world, but at least we can rest. Are you hungry?
The princess's stomach was indeed growling for several minutes, so she immediately acquiesced.
I'm going to pick up our meal. Absolutely don't move and watch the animals.
Kionna was scared stiff of failing once again, but Flo came back almost immediately to her great relief. They then sat in the grass somewhere high up on the hill, so they could keep monitoring the flock. The farmer took out a round and soft loaf from her basket, split it in two, then began cutting some cheese with a knife. Cheese again? It tastes good! Yes, it's cheese again, what a surprise, wow! Get used to it! Also, cheese is good. Flo blinked.
The cheese? What's important is not for it to be good, but to fill up you so that you can hold on for the rest of the day.
Wait, what?
I was simply trying to compliment you.
The girl's cheeks turned pale pink. Oh.
Appreciating that it's not just a quality sort. A delicious meal that's not nourishing is not worth much when you're active from dawn to dusk.
Flo suddenly appeared lost in thought. After a short break, she pointed her finger at the princess and claimed,
You're not like the others, you know, a normal name like Kionna doesn't suit you. From now I'll call you Donkey Skin.
I suppose that my garb is what looks strange to you, huh?
It's true, but that's not the only reason. You always have your head in the clouds and discover everything like it's the first time you're setting foot on the earth. Not that you're in reality the misery of a faraway and magical country, the Donkey Kingdom.
Donkey Kingdom.
I don't see another explanation to such naivety. I could make you believe anything, you know. You have to protect yourself from ill-intentioned people, Donkey Skin.
Kionna could not help pouting.
I know I ask a lot of questions, but still, I'm not as easy to fool as you believe, Flo.
Yes, you are.
In the Donkey Kingdom, surely, but in ours it's another story entirely. Lucky for you, I'm a good soul. I will guide you until you can understand the customs.
The farmer had such a wide smile that the princess did not have the heart to argue. No matter how strong-minded Flo seemed, she was still a very young girl and definitely had her heart in the right place. In a way, Kionna found her adorable. Was that how it felt to have a little sister?
I would not have minded having one like Flo. If only she did not have an answer for everything.
What do you mean? It's a good thing. Oh my god. Hours flew by, and they finally had to drive the cattle back to the farm. On the way back, the small group passed near a hut which aroused the princess' curiosity.
What's the purpose of this little cabin I see over there? Is this where you store your tools?
Flo, who was quenching her thirst with her flask, instantly spat out her mouth full of wine. Yeah? Wine at 14? Are we in Poland or something?
Are you serious?
Kionna's face darkened at once. I mean, maybe I would be able to tell what she's talking about if I saw what she's talking about. I would be guessing this is for chickens? But it's a wild guess, I don't see it. Kionna's face darkened at once.
Did I happen to ask another annoying question? I'll never risk learning anything if you are constantly making fun of me. I figured out that you were ignorant to many things, but this just boggles my mind. This is not bullshit, but
oh, it's toilet, okay. Gotcha.
Lala? Oh my god, I really have to say it.
Flo blushed again, and just as wildly as she was mixing several explanations at the same time, which only made her comrade even more confused.
I'm not quite sure I grasp the issue here.
The young farmer girl took a deep breath before reeling off in one go.
It's where you go when you need to relieve a certain basic need. There's just a deep hole with a pile of wood chips to prevent the smell from spreading. Latrines.
Honestly, I'm surprised she would be embarrassed about that, but... Understanding what it was all about, the princess blushed in turn. She only pronounced one syllable and avoided looking at Flo in the eyes, embarrassed.
Oh.
I was so off the mark, by the way.
I'm really worried here, you know. If Donkey Skin has never seen latrines in her life, she must really know a little about our world. Are you sure the Donkey Kingdom doesn't come from the sky?
Absolutely sure, it's just a very different over there.
All the more reason to remedy to that. Once the animals are in the pen, you're going to come with me. We absolutely need to go over the basics together.
Yeah. No sooner said than done. Flu dragged Kionna away for an impromptu tour of the farm, regularly halting to explain detailedly the interest of every area and every tool.
We have 3 parcels that we cultivate differently every year to avoid impoverishing the soil.
Correct way. Could it be the free field crop rotation system I have sometimes heard about?
I'm not aware of its name. The fact remains that it's necessary to vary crops. The parcel here is used as a grain field. We grow rye and a bit of wheat to make bread. That one there is used as a field of vegetables. We grow chickpeas and a few carrots to make porridge. And the last field is fallow. In other words, we let the soil rest. It's used as a pasture land for the animals. We also have an apple tree over there that allows us to make apple wine.
Yeah? Man. I loved apple trees. Back in the garden of my teenage years. There were quite a few, let's see. I say quite a few, we had literally 2 apple trees. But there was so much apples out of that. What else was there now that I think about it? Cherries. I think, yeah, we had cherries, that's for sure. I think there was something else still. Did we? No, we did not have any foresty, unfortunately, stuff. But we did have an ingredient for wine that is grapes. My grandfather actually used to do his own wine and so on. I guess pears as well. Yeah, pears were there as well. Anything else? I think there was more of those fruits there still. What else? Anywho.
How organized you are. We have to be. Farmers must complete a multitude of small tasks to be able to survive. As a result, you have to learn a little bit of everything. How to repair tools.
Yeah.
How to clean the house.
Yeah, I mean, that's for everyone, to be fair.
How to grow plants. How to breed animals. How to sell products in the market. How to build up.
All at the same time. I thought that each domain was entrusted to a different artisan.
Craftsperson usually gather in town to serve the local lord and merchants. In the countryside, you can only count on yourself.
True. Realizing that the sun was getting rather low in the sky, Flu turned towards her comrade.
It's already quite late. In the afternoon, we won't have time to do any big task before sunset. Let's keep them for another day and go in the shack to prepare a meal.
Tired by her long stroll, Kionna did not need much persuading. The 2 young women then came across Huguette, who had made sure to milk the goat a little while ago. By mutual agreement, they all decided to make some cheese.
I haven't seen you all day. What were you doing, mother? I made some bread, cleaned the pan, spooned a few baskets so that I could sell them in the market. My mother is really skilled in spinning baskets. It allows us to collect a little money. Incidentally, I stayed there quite a while, but I was able to buy wax and fat thanks to my sales. It's true, we had exhausted our last candle not long ago. That's great news.
While the 2 farmers were beginning to make cheese under the wonder-struck eyes of the princess, who did not miss a thing, Anselm joined them at a grouchy.
How was your day, father?
I couldn't catch a single one. They splashed my fishing rod on top of that. I'm going to repair it once.
I expect you to come with me tomorrow. It's our turn to drive the animals to pasture.
Certainly, given my luck with fishing, something else will do me a world of good. Even if I'm slightly fed up with being reduced to boring tasks.
You well know that you have to wait for your wound to heal, Father.
I know. Don't worry about P-Fly, sure that I'm very careful. Noticing that an amazed Kionna was still staring at her, the little farmer chuckled moved.
Mother, I can teach you how to make cheese if you want.
I have no clue what would be the process for making cheese, to be fair. I mean, I've never done cheese myself, so, you know. Anyway.
Really? It's not that complicated, you'll see.
The princess says the young girls were hands, eyes sparkling with excitement.
Oh, thank you, that you are thank you 1,000 times, I can't wait to cook. Let me go, I'm going to make a real mess here.
Kionna detached her hands from floors, but it was already too late. She had smeared herself with milk and cream. Huguette and her daughter could not help bursting out laughing.
You're a hopeless donkey skin.
Displeased to end up a laughing stock once again, the princess stepped away to sulk. Forman Flo would have sworn that the ears from her skin had lowered like a duck's. Heh. It was soon time for dinner, and all the farmers gathered round the table to enjoy their humble meal. Chickpea gruel with some cereals, galettes. Worn out by her long day, Kionna ate up her portion without complaint and went to bed without further delay. Despite the challenge passed by her excursion in the countryside, she was burning on the inside to discover new experiences. And those new experiences will come tomorrow. For now, let's end it here. And yes, we'll continue the next day. Yeah, let her learn about life. Kionna, it's time for you to learn about life, that's true. At 17. Alright. With that being said, the farm life. Kinda nice. But yeah. Let's end this. Anyway, you know, as per usual, consider liking, subscribing, always appreciated. The game link in the description if you are interested in owning it yourself. And I wish you all a wonderful day. Bye bye. I totally yawned right now. Bye bye.